Hey everybody, what's going on? It is EricDoodleDandy here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about what exactly makes a great game out of video games. Now, as you can see from my recent gameplays that I've uploaded, most of them have been Fortnite. Most of them have been the top talked about, top played game recently, and we're going to exactly figure out why Fortnite got onto the map as a free game out of nowhere, as opposed to Call of Duty World War II, you know, UFC 3, Destiny 2, and other games like that that actually had some hype behind them for quite some time. Now, don't get me wrong, all three of those games and more that I've mentioned actually do have some replayability and some great gameplay to them if you prefer those games. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what makes Fortnite more popular, or a game like Fortnite more popular, as opposed to a game like that. And it's not necessarily just the gameplay in itself. It could be the community, it could be the players who play it, or it could be the developers and how they go about their game. Now, kind of kicking off with this whole developer thing, in Destiny 1 as opposed to Destiny 2, they actually managed that game pretty well and gave updates regularly, as opposed to barely making updates to Destiny 2 and actually fixing some of the content in it. Now, granted, we did get a bunch of recycled content, as a lot of the players like to say, including myself, meaning that they just kind of give us the same thing and make us pay for it twice. Which most games like Call of Duty have done that in the past. You know, they brought back maps like Terminal and Shipment and fun fan favorite maps, I should say. And at the same time, it's okay to have good recycled content, but not too much of it. Now, as opposed to sports games, obviously most of the material with it is going to be updated regularly to fix servers and to fix certain glitches in the game. But whenever they launch their game, most of the stuff that comes out with it is already in the game. All they have to do is put the event out there and give it its time span, and that's it. But most of the stuff is already in the game. With Fortnite, they're constantly updating their servers, which, I mean, I don't know, recently they've been a little slacking in that area. But not only that, they're also kind of making it to where they're adding new stuff almost as a monthly basis. You know, we just got a Port-a-Fort 2 weeks ago, and now they're already adding an LMG at the time that I'm recording this. So I feel like not only do they have the ability to produce more new content for that game, but also kind of manage it pretty well at the same time. They're not constantly updating while not releasing new stuff, but they're not also constantly releasing new stuff while updating. Granted, there is a few things that need to be updated for the game, but that's for a different topic and a different day. What we're talking about today is simply why it makes it such a great game to play, based on what the developers do and what the community does for the game. So tying this back into the community, it kind of reflects on what exactly the players do for the game to what the developers will update and will fix. So, for instance, in Fortnite, when friendly fire was such a bad, you know, thing, which I never found it, but it's because people loved the rocket ride, but then ended up killing their teammates right there when the rocket exploded. If you don't know what rocket ride it is, I will put a clip of it right now. Okay. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god! We did it! But what point I'm trying to make is that there's communities out there like the Borderlands community, like the COD Zombies community, and even like the Fortnite community that sit there and point out flaws of a game, not to make it seem like it's a bad game, but honestly so that the game developers can figure out what's wrong with it since it went under their radar and patch it immediately. So what I'm trying to get at is that it's not just about the developers or the managers, it's also about the community of the game as well, and how they seem to go about their game and actually fix the things that's wrong with it, or even add new stuff as the people request for it. Now, not always does this come true and, you know, the game's still playable, but at the same time, you gotta think of the endless GTA DLCs, because that game came out in like what, 2012, 2013, and it's still producing more DLCs for the game now in 2018. And games like Fortnite, they release free-to-play content on their Battle Royale version. So, kind of bringing in all this into focus, what I want for this upcoming game season, which is kind of the fall of the year, if you guys didn't know, that's where most of the major titles get released. I would like to see a lot of the games not only have some fresh content and some new content inside of them, but I would also like to see it being managed very well and things like that. Just everything that I was mentioning in this video, I'd like to actually see come in the games of the 2018 season. Games like Borderlands that might be released. Borderlands 3, you know, there's been a lot of talk of it recently. There's been Black Ops 4. There's been Anthem. There's been Red Dead 2. There's been plenty of other games that I would actually like to see managed extremely well with the content that it's given. Not necessarily if it has to be its full content or even DLC content that they would like to bring us. So, it's basically just bringing all this into one topic, is that I would like to see in this 2018 game season that most of the games should be well developed at the start and managed throughout their lifespan of a game. You know, I don't want to have people just jumping on the metaphorical wagon of hating a game right off the start because of its bad start or bad launch content when it could be easily fixed. So, if you guys have any questions about this topic, it's a random topic, by the way, but it's pretty relevant to the channel. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.